So I think this is, I was just reading X and I wanted to show you some of the comments on X regarding what's happening with the digital ID, as well as the fact that people are starting to notice that. Remember when the WEF, World Economic Forum, and these evil fuckers over there and others have said you will own nothing and be happy. Well, there are a lot of people just assume that. Well, what do they mean? How are they going to do that? I mean, they can't just walk in with guns and take people's homes. They can't take people's cars. But what they can do is make everything so expensive you can't own it, and you'll lose. More and more people will not be able to afford it. So you'll become a renter or a subscription based, like this gentleman's going to talk about in a minute, how you'll become a subscription based on everything, renter, and basically everything will be rented out, whether you rent your car, your home, apartment, things such as that. And I just wanted to mention that with the WEF, World Economic Forum, they have big plans by 2030 is their goal to make sure that the majority of people, the middle class, well, the middle class is almost gone here in the United States, but that the middle class is extinct, and that everybody's basically, except for a certain level of people at the top, everybody else is in a basic survival mode or poverty level, renting and surviving. And that's really what they're working on now over the next, you'll see this continue over the next several years, because everything they're doing is making that happen. If you look at the fact that they continue to overspend and drive, and I'll speak for the United States because that's the country I'm in, but it's happening in Western countries all over the world. If you look at what they're doing, how they're continuing to spend trillions of dollars, knowing that it's driving massive inflation, driving people into economic downturn, and costing people their jobs, their homes, and making it and actually driving up the homeless population. So this is all being done on purpose. Now, I would say, based on that fact alone, this is what we would call treason. If the people in charge are purposely doing something to harm the people of that country, that is a form of treason. How do we deal with treason? Well, you know how we should deal with treason. I can't say that on YouTube or even publicly, or they'll take that as potential threat. So I'm not saying, but I mean, it might go to that at some point. Anyway, so let's see what this gentleman has to say on X regarding it. I think this is a good statement regarding this.
5 years ago, the WEF told us that by 2030, we would own nothing. That is all tied into the UN Agenda 2030, which digital ID is one of those things that is tied into that agenda. But in 5 years, how have we gone from ownership of things to steadily moving towards non-ownership? Well, the first thing we can see here is in homes. Home ownership, a lot of people have been priced out. Ownership in general of homes has remained flat over the last 5 years. Meanwhile, rent has skyrocketed, and it has gone up by 5.6 million over the last 5 years. So rent is increasing, home ownership staying flat, and will eventually start to decline. They'll price people out. Right now, the younger generation that should be owning homes, Gen Z, has been priced out, and they are the largest generation ever to be renting. That's your big ticket item. Everything else has started moving to a subscription-based model, if you've noticed. In the past, we used to own certain things. We used to just buy them at the store and have the actual media in hand, but now it's all subscription. Cars are starting to do this. Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, they're starting to create subscription services for features in their cars. Farming equipment, John Deere, they will shut down the software in a John Deere tractor if you don't have the subscription service to have their men, their mechanics, fix it when it breaks down. Printers, HP has an ink subscription program. If you got that ink and it's in the printer and you canceled your subscription, your printer will stop working. The other things that we have, movies and music, that is all moved to streaming services. They can remove things that you purchased because it's all held in their cloud, not in your own hands. We no longer have CDs, DVDs. It's all digital based. Gaming systems, the new Switch 2, they can shut you down if they don't like what you're doing. So you won't have access to your games if they don't like what you're doing. Software, you used to be able to own software like your Adobe Creative Suite, Quicken, Microsoft Office. All of that, again, is moved to subscription. You don't own the software anymore, but you pay to use it regularly. Ebooks, all on Kindle. In 2009, Amazon took off George Orwell's books, and so if you had even purchased the digital version, it was just gone from your library. These kind of things is what Agenda 2030 is all about. And with the digital ID, they can shut you down. They can shut you out of any of this kind of access. So there it is, incremental steps to owning nothing and making you a regular slave, paying regularly in order to use these services that we used to just buy once and have in hand. Combine that with digital ID. You step out of line on social media, you do something that they don't like, they can shut you down now on any of these services as well. This is the agenda. This is where they're going. This is how we will own nothing.
Anyway, that's a great point, and I just wanted to play that video because that is the way they're going. It's not only to have full control over everything you do, but the subscription-based model is to consistently keep you paying on the same items. You will own nothing. You're always renting those items. Like I said before in my other statement, that you would buy a CD and you would own that program. They would give you updates, and when that program became obsolete, yes, you would have to buy a new program, but it would last for several years. Same with a car. You would buy your car, you own it. You can keep it as long as you want. I mean, as long as you make the payments, and even when you pay it off, you own it. Today, they're trying to make cars so expensive that you can't even afford to buy it. And this way, the only thing will be in the future will be affordable is leasing the car. You'll never own it. Same with properties. So we're going to see a lot of this over the next few years. And the truth is, you got to remember, and I'll say this again, remember who is doing this. The people in power are doing this. You know, so, and why do I say that? Is because everybody seems to think they have the right to do this. They don't. They don't have the right to destroy the middle class. They don't have the right to bring in millions of people to destroy the country. They don't have the right to, spray chemicals in the sky, hard metals with what is the now I forgot what they call it. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. But again, weather modification, things such as that, are spraying hard metals in the air, making people sick. Again, all this stuff is a direct attack on the human race. And, you know, people have to wake up. And if these monsters and this evil fuckers are going to continue to do it, then the response has to be equal to what they're doing to you. And so, you know, the most important thing is that people, the citizens of each country and even the world, come together and recognize who is doing this and what the evil they are. You look at the World Economic Forum, and you look at what they're saying. Who the fuck do these people think they are? They have no right to do this. You don't owe anything to these people. This earth was created by God, the one true living God. And I admit that Satan currently runs it, but we don't have to cooperate with Satan or his little troll fuckers, these little evil fuckers in the WEF and World Economic Forum, or was it World Economic Forum or Foundation or whatever the hell it's called. You don't have to cooperate with these people. You don't have to. They don't own you. You're not their slave. Remember that. So it's time to stand up and put a stop to it. Do not cooperate with digital IDs. Do not give up. For the people in the United States, do not give up the Second Amendment. It'll be the biggest mistake you can make. You're going to need your firearms in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.